with SmartMove360. We go live every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You could listen to us everywhere on Spotify, on Facebook, any other podcast platform. Let's go. Hello. This is Irina Strunina. Again, this is our Diabetically Speaking with SmartMove 360. And today we are going to talk about very important topic. And to help me with that, here is my very good friend, Peggy McCartha. Peggy, please tell us about yourself. There is one thing that I need to mention before she starts talking is I invited her to be my guest for a reason. A lot of times, our podcast called Diabetically Speaking, we're talking about diabetes, life with diabetes. The important part here is diabetes is just a diagnosis. Diabetes is something that we can manage and we need to stay in charge of it. That's the reason for whole podcast in the first place, to provide information. And Smart Move 360, we're talking about 360 approach, so we are not missing anything. We talk about all aspects of life. So Peggy is not diabetic, but she has her own very serious health challenge that she is managing already for many years and managing successfully. And because she has such an experience with that, I thought that she will be a great person to share some of the tips and techniques and mindset approaches that she is using. Hello, Peggy. Now you can talk.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so excited to be here. I'm kind of a fan of Irina, so I'm fangirling out to be on the show. But yeah, I love that you asked me to be on here. I have lymphedema. Lymphedema affects my lymphatic system. My lymphatic system doesn't drain properly, so my legs and abdomen swell. And one of the many things I do to take care of that is my diet. Lymphedema is one of those things. There's no magic pill. There's nothing that can be done. You have to take care of yourself. I care for it with massage, with compression garments, and like I said, diet. And Irina and I talk a lot about the similarities of the mindset that it takes to navigate in this world when you have to think about what you eat, when you other people around you don't have to. They can just eat whatever and they don't have to think, what are the effects that this is going to have on my body. And so I think that even though I don't suffer from diabetes, I do completely understand how it feels to go to family dinners, to go to restaurants, to go, through the holidays and all of the things, and deal with feeling like you're left out or you're not a part of things. And I know that that's probably, I don't think I'm alone in that. I feel like a lot of you probably feel the same way.
Definitely. And this is something that I've witnessed it. I've been with Peggy in restaurant. We've been around other people, and she is a happy person. And she maybe somewhere in the back of her emotions, she's hiding sad feelings, but she is not showing it. And I really hope that this is how she is. We all are people. Of course, we have our challenges, but there are regular challenges. Everyone has challenges. There is no a person that has no problems in the world. So with that, I wanted to ask you a question that might help people to relate to you. um, did you have this diagnosis all your life, or you learned about it at some point?
No, I did not have this all of my life. It was caused from an injury, kind of a repeated injury, and it basically showed up out of nowhere. I was 27 years old when my left leg just I woke up and my leg was swollen. It was horrific. It was painful, and I went to the doctor, and no one knew what it was. And I bounced from doctor to doctor, test to test for 8 years before
Oh
I
my
was
God.
diagnosed. So for 8 years, I didn't know what was wrong. By the time I was diagnosed, my left leg was 3 times the size of my right leg. I had to wear different size shoes. I could only wear like really wide leg jeans or skirts because I couldn't, and of course, because it was a physical thing like that, like it was emotional, it was embarrassing. Um, and I didn't know what was wrong. I just was dragging this big old leg around all the time. So there wasn't even a thing to explain it away. And then when I was finally diagnosed, I was so excited because I thought, okay, we have a name to it. Now we can fix it. And the next words out of the doctor's mouth was, it's incurable and it will only get worse.
Uh,
He said, today is the best day your leg will ever be, which was true and not true because I decided that I wasn't going to let it steal my entire life. And I worked really hard to get it under control and really continue living my life. At the time that I was diagnosed, I had small children and I was in bed because I couldn't physically, I couldn't walk. I was in so much pain. And that was before I knew how to do massages and wear compression garments and different things to help me be mobile. So it was a very frustrating time to say the least. And still, when I first was diagnosed, I didn't. No one told me, hey, your diet really can affect
mhm.
how you live and how your pain level and your swelling. No one said that to me, and unfortunately, this is the fortunate thing is people do know about diabetes. They do understand. Hey, you've got an amazing community with
Mhm.
Live 360 and or Diabetesly. I'm saying your community wrong now, Irina.
Diabetes 101 for
That's it.
beginners. That's the community
Yes, the
name.
community. So you guys are so lucky to have doctors understand this. You have a community of people. You have somebody that wants to help educate you and help you navigate through this. I was kind of thrown out in the wild, very little information in the beginning. There's more now than there ever was, but it's still slim picking out there. But one thing that I realized was, when I would eat certain things, I would swell more. And so then I kind of started really studying that and asking people questions. And people said, oh, no, no, no. And then other people would say, yes, obviously. And, finally, it's very, very clear to me that, managing my diet and eating very clean and not eating anything that comes from a box or a can or a drive-through um,
Yes.
really does affect how my quality of life. And I think that that's really the point is my quality of life. And to me, I would rather be without pain and able to have the energy to do things than I would to go to McDonald's. I would rather sacrifice that or we sometimes we go to restaurants and it's a restaurant that doesn't have anything that I can eat. And so I
Mhm.
will eat before I go. And I'm just
Yes.
like, hey, eating out to me isn't about the food. Eating out to me
Mhm.
is about hanging out with people that I love and being able to talk to them and spend time with them. And that was something that didn't just happen. Like I had to really figure out how I was going to navigate this. So for the last
Yeah.
I've been eating different from everyone in my family for the last 13 years. So yeah, it's something that you have to make the decision. And I say I don't have I that I have lymphedema. It doesn't have me. I'm the one that's in
Yes,
control of my body. This is my body. This is my life.
yes, that's perfect way to find how to say this position and stay on it, because this is something that um, we got to learn. And this is about diabetes, it's about lymphedema, it may be about some kidney disease, or maybe something else that people, hey, just the regular allergies. They may be in such affecting people in such way that you got to choose at certain point. Do you really love that particular food item so badly that you are willing to go through the pain that is causing? And sometimes, if it is such a love and this is so important for you, have a bite or two and justify your desire. I think this is something that last time when we had this podcast with one of our friends, she suggested this 3 bites technique. I don't know, remember, right?
I
Three
remember
bites
that. I
technique.
remember that. I was telling my
First
husband that.
bite to say hello, the second bite to enjoy, and the third bite to say goodbye. And that's about all we really need, right?
I'm not that person. I was just yesterday, I was laughing with my husband about that because he was eating ice cream. And
Mhm.
that's literally, I love ice cream. That's the one thing that I miss about. And there's some alternatives that I have from time to time, but that's the one thing that I really miss. And he was eating ice cream and I was like, huh, I could just have 3 bites. And he kind of looked at me and I was like, hello, enjoy, and goodbye. And then I laughed and I was like, but you know me, I would never say goodbye.
Yeah.
Like I people say, "Oh, Peggy, you have so much self-control and I can't believe you do this." And it's like, "No, I have zero self-control. That is why I do this
Uh-huh.
because the second I'm not that person that can have a couple of bites and walk away. Like if I'm going to eat some Oreos, I'm going to eat the whole dang sleeve of Oreos. I'm not going to eat, a cookie and say, "Oh, that was really nice." And I know some people can do that and I'm in awe of them. That is amazing, but sugar is such a terrible addictive drug. It is evil, and it is one of the things that that I can't have. I can't have processed sugars, and and all it takes is for me to cheat one time, and then like I want it, and I have to really like
Mhm.
do something to break that, um, because it is a real thing, and when sugar, it's, let's be honest, it's not great for anyone. But when it is
Yes.
something that's life or death, you really have to decide, like, are you going to let this addiction, because that's what it does. It causes addiction in your body, and it's
Yes.
not that you're a bad person. It just means that you're a human living a human
Hmm.
experience, and sugar affects your body this way. And you have to
Yes.
really decide, like, is it worth what I'm going to give up for it? Is it worth it?
Exactly. 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 Well, okay. That's about this. Well, for myself, I personally trying to control my intake of all these items by not bringing it home. That's my way. And sometimes I find myself searching the pantry and refrigerator and like, all right, maybe I'll have an egg or piece of cheese. But then I realize that I'm not really hungry. It's just the boredom. And I like, okay, I'll go back to my whatever activities I was doing or not doing. So better find some activities to do, right?
Yeah.
But look, we are talking about this holiday season and the gatherings, and you already mentioned that you're enjoying people, you're enjoying the company and all this. But what about when you go to the table and you got to make those choices, and say you are having a nice conversation with someone And sometimes people are nosy and they saying, "Oh, why you didn't put this piece of bread? Look, it looks real so good. This warm and with the chunk of butter, it's even better." Um, how do you manage those kind of situations?
So, like I said, I've eaten differently from everyone else for over 13 years, and it amazes me how some people get so invested in what I do or do not eat. You
Hmm.
know, like, oh, you have to have this, you have to have this. And so there's a couple of different things that I do depending on the situation. One is I say, oh, I'm allergic to that. And then
Uh-huh.
they're like, oh, okay, you know. And sometimes that's just enough to, like, make it go away.
Hmm.
Sometimes I say, you know, sometimes I just say, "Oh, I'm not hungry," or, whatever, but that's never I've found that's never really works. Like, people don't care if you're hungry. They really get very intent. Some people, that's how they show their love, is by feeding you, and if you don't eat, they just take it so personal, and it's like, this really isn't about you. This is about
Uh-huh.
me. But,
Uh-huh.
you have to be really careful. So sometimes I will just take whatever it is on my plate and play with it with my fork and, not eat it. Just sometimes that's a situation you can, and sometimes you can't get by with that. And, other times I'm just like, hey, it's okay. I have to eat like this because of a health condition, and I'm just here for the conversation. So don't worry about
Uh-huh.
me. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. Like, just like, if you eat this, it does not bother me at all. It doesn't tempt me. You enjoy you, and I'm going to enjoy our conversation, and we're going to laugh and have a great time. So, but it's, I'm not going to lie. It is, there are some people that just cannot let it go, and it gets really, luckily I have an amazing husband, and when we're in those situations, like, I'll just take a plate and he'll help me finish my plate. So I have backup. But yeah, sometimes it's not always easy.
Well, actually, yes, and I'm thinking right now about a couple of my friends who have some food limitations because of different diagnoses that they have. And I, because I'm doing what I'm doing, I am familiar with those challenges they have. They shared it with me. We discussed different situations that they were running into. They were asking for help if I know someone. So I am familiar with some challenges that people of my circle of friends have. And what I noticed that what they are doing, they this is because not just got they got to know. They already had it for a while. They already got comfortable with their diagnosis. They can openly say, I cannot eat that. And that's it.
Hmm.
I cannot eat that. Period. End of discussion. And they move on to the item that they can eat. And that's fine. I didn't see at the table or at the serving table somebody insisting, no, you got to have it. When you already got this clear answer, I cannot have it, that's fine. Uh, Without explanation, without giving too much details why I cannot have it, unless you want to share this, you just, I cannot have it. That's it. And they move on, and people like, okay, got it. I've heard the message. So that's one of the situations that I observed multiple times, and I think this is a good thing rather than, oh, maybe, well, um, later. Although that works for me. I say I'm saving my stomach. I'm waiting for dessert, I will say, and that's why I don't eat this. And then when dessert will come, I will be already busy with something,
Hmm.
talking with someone or playing some games or whatever. Or, and I miss the dessert, and I'm just grateful. I'm so happy that I missed it.
Hmm.
Don't tell me how good it was. I had such a wonderful time spending this time with people who I don't see every day.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when you really focus on the positive things, instead of focusing on the I can't have, focus on the I can go have an amazing time with my friends and family. I can go do this. I can do this. I can do it. And I know that I've got many, many years ahead of me because I have chosen to put my health and my body first. And another thing that I've learned, and this didn't come instantly, but I start every day telling my body thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know what? You are doing an amazing job considering that you don't work right. Like you got some broken parts in you and you're still making this work. And I still get to live on this earth and I still get to breathe air and I still get to hang out and do all these things that I love to do. And thank you for taking care of me and keeping me alive and keeping me here, even though you're not working properly. I to thank you am going to give you the best quality food that I can give you that's going to help you work at your best. So when you kind of think of your body as your partner, instead of, kind of separate yourself from your body and realize like, yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, like it's amazing that you're even still alive. Like
Yeah.
that's a miracle that your body isn't processing foods the way it normally should, but yet it's still making workarounds and it's still allowing you to, keep going. So, be a team with your body and give it what it needs, and really put that as a priority. And that, to me, that's self-care. To me, that's teamwork. To me, that's me taking care of me and not worrying about if you think that I should eat that wonderful thing that you made or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I got goosebumps when you was talking about talking to your body. This is very, very good point. I do remember totally not eating. I do remember when I was younger and practicing sports. Every morning I will go for a run, and I was running a lot. And the good thing is when you're running in the nature, you see all the changes that are happening, and the day starts and how it progresses, and the leaves and the flowers and what is happening to the grass, and all this stuff I would not see if I didn't run. And I do remember that during those runs I always would say thanks my body for taking me for this run. Thank you for allowing me to see all this, because otherwise I wouldn't see it. And I'm so grateful that I can do that. I'm so grateful that I have this ability, and I'm so glad that I got up in the morning today and actually did put my sneakers on and went for a run instead of staying in bed. So talking to my body back then, I don't do it now. I should start this again. But you're right. You're right. Our body is our team member, and self care is so important. Taking care of the, like, maintaining the temple, right?
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of times we think we, and it's, like I'm this way or I'm that way, and it's like, no, your body's struggling with a little thing and you can help your body out. So
Yes. Yes. Well, for sure, your body will not get whatever you put in your mouth if you physically don't put it in. So we are the ones who hold those hands and manipulate with them, and we are making a decision: do I grab a glass of water or glass of Coca-Cola?
mhm.
Do I take a stick of celery, or do I take a candy bar? Stick of celery probably not the most exciting thing, but if you dip it in some very good dressing, it may actually be pretty tasty. I do like these vegetables with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
nowadays there's so many alternatives. There's so many things that you can, that you can still get, the flavors that you want, and you can do it in a conscientious way that's not going to harm your body as, as much as other things. So you have to be diligent, read labels, and I'm big on whole foods. I don't believe in eating processed foods. So,
Hmm.
I'm but that can go, fruits have a lot of sugars in them too. So you have to be, smart
Sure.
with even that.
Yeah, yeah. Knowing the numbers, knowing your ability, your body's
Mhm.
ability to
Mhm.
process. One body could process the half a cup, another teaspoon,
That's
one way or
key is
another.
being intuitive to your body. You
Yeah,
you
listening
understand what
to
the
it.
charts say and what the numbers say, but then you have to know what your body actually does with those things, because every one of our bodies are different. Every one of our bodies have different tolerances, different strengths. We have to really know our own body.
Absolutely. Peggy, thank you. Thank you for talking with me about it. And you know what I do know, that in our group, Diabetes 101 for Beginners, periodically I see people who are saying, "You are all got it easy." Because I, on top of diabetes, I also have lymphedema. So my question is, how people can find you? Will it be okay if they will reach out to you so you could share with them your experience in this area?
I would I
Um,
absolutely would love that. I have a YouTube channel. It's called my playlist is called My Lymphedema Journey, and I don't have a link for you. You'll have to just find it. You can also message me directly at Headshot Strategist / Let's Chat, and you can get on my calendar. And I would love to help encourage you, whether it's diabetes and lymphedema or any other thing that is frustrating to deal with. So I would love to reach out. But I do have a lot of things on my YouTube channel, and I didn't even think to get that link prepared for you. So I apologize for
that's
that.
okay, but we can put
In
it
the
when
chats.
you will post it on the Spotify. We can post the links in the Facebook. And anybody who needs that link, please reach out to me. I could provide it as well.
Perfect. Irina always knows how to get a hold of me, so that's the best way.
Yes. Yeah, so now with that, I need to make few of my announcements. And first of all, I wanted to let you know that our support group meetings are happening in our Facebook group, Diabetes 101 for Beginners, every other Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please look at the announcements in our Facebook group. There are always information about when is the next meeting. I don't know when you are looking at this or watching this podcast or listening to it. So please refer to our Facebook group. The next announcement, I wanted to make sure that you remember that every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this podcast is going live to our Facebook group, to multiple other channels, and we also have our own channel in Spotify that's called Diabetically Speaking with SmartMove360. Very unique name. And the next announcement, I wanted to let everybody know that every 2 months we have our diabetic healthcare expos. One expo will be in December, the next expo will be in February, and you just count every other month. Again, in our Facebook group, we have multiple posts about it, about how it goes, how you can find this information, and how you can listen to it. And the last but not least, I need to say thank you to our sponsors: Mink Life Motivation, On Balance Entertainment, Life Based Solutions, and Empower People That Care. Without help from these people, from this companies, these events, these podcasts, expos, group meetings will not be possible. They are helping us. They are helping these things, these events to happen. Thank you, Peggy, one more time
Thank
for
you.
joining me today. And we will meet with you next week at 4 p.m. Eastern.